Hi y'all, this is Larry at Deep South Texas. It's getting towards the middle of September and it's time to take a look at the garden and see what's growing. And there's still stuff growing here, and the heat is starting to die down just a little bit. We're probably 5 degrees cooler for a high than we were in August. So it's making me think about the garden again and time to get things going. But let's take a look at the current condition. Now, the banana trees, they've been doing well. They're growing bigger. I try to keep a bunch of water on them, and they should be about ready to flower. In the past 2 years, we've had flowers first show up in like the first week of September. So it's like the 12th of September. So any day now, we should start seeing banana flowers. And once the flowers show up, the bananas come right after that. Tumeric is doing well. It's growing taller. And again, this is something to probably harvest in November, as well as the ginger over here. Not quite as large, but it's doing well. It's doing well, and again, we'll probably harvest that in November. My last remaining tomato plant from last season is still alive. It's still growing, although in the last 6 weeks it's been brutally attacked by tomato hornworms. I've actually been out here picking off tomato hornworms almost every day for that 6-week period, and I've gotten rid of more than 30 large tomato hornworms. I haven't found any new ones in the last week, and so I think we're out of the woods with those. And unless we're going to have another cycle of hornworm growth here. But starting to see we have flowers here and there starting to come out. The buds anyway, not the flowers yet. But as it cools down, I certainly hope we see some nice tomatoes off of this plant. And the sweet potatoes, they're just taking over again, kind of like what sweet potatoes do. So I think they've been in the ground long enough that I probably should be harvesting those. A couple weeks ago we tried seeing what we had, and we've got 4 or 5 pretty nice sweet potatoes. So I think next week I probably need to be harvesting them. I have about half of my raised beds all ready for planting for the fall season. Even some probably won't be planted till spring. So I'm ready to go here in Deep South Texas, just waiting for the right time. The right time for cabbages and broccoli is coming up. Because I'm sort of tired of looking at all these empty raised beds, I may start those a couple weeks early. We'll see. And my wife was getting tired of all these empty planting spaces as well. So she's planted some zucchini and summer squash plants in some barrels out here. We're all just sort of anxious to start growing again after the heat of the summer. And there are a few peppers still hanging on. They're not very big, but if you need some peppers to flavor up a dish you're cooking, you can come out here and grab a few and chop them up and be on your way. And there are a few flowers growing on this fence over here. We have some moonflowers growing that only bloom at night, and they're a very nice size and very pretty, but you have to come out in the evening in order to see these. So the 3rd year in a row, when it gets hot, the artichoke plant just dies back. And I see I've got several little artichoke plants in here now. I'm going to need to move these. They're just not performing well where they're at. I don't know if it's because of the shade from the banana trees or what, but they're not doing anything over here. So I think I'm actually going to move this whole bed, and we'll see how that goes. I want to try to move it over here and replace this 3-foot by 6-foot bed with a 10-foot by 2.5-foot, and put a trellis along it and try to grow green beans in there. So we'll see if I get that job done yet before the spring. The orange trees are doing great this year. They're just loaded with oranges, and I don't think they can probably hold all the oranges that are on them right now. So they'll start dropping a few, but there'll be plenty of oranges this year and plenty of orange juice. Couldn't be happier. And while we have quite a few Meyer lemons, I didn't get them enough water when they needed it, and so they're all going to be kind of small this year, which is pretty strange for Meyer lemons because they're usually quite big. Anyway, they'll look more like lemons you get from the store, I think, that's fine. Well, the new chicks are about 5.5 months old now, and at least three of them have started laying eggs, which is pretty nice. It's been a while. We hatched 15 eggs, and we ended up with 6 roosters and 9 hens. So that's a pretty good result as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, they're the same size or bigger than the older hens now, so looking forward for the rest of them to start laying eggs as well. Let me get some samples of those eggs and take a look at them. So here they are. This is one from one of the new chicks, and that's one from one of the older chicks. So you can see there's quite a bit difference in size between the two, and these are new chicks as well. Anyway, in a couple weeks, each week their eggs will get bigger until after a while they're the same size as the older hens. Well, it's been a long, hot summer, but it's finally starting to cool down a little bit, and I am so happy. I want to get back to planting in the garden again. I've got my beds ready to go, and I'm going to get started a little bit earlier this year for my fall garden. So hope you come back and see how that's doing. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.